This deserves no fanfare. It deserves no fanfare. This playthrough was a playthrough from heck, and it needs to go back there. So I understand now. Basically, the recording wants us to experience your playthrough experience, and so it is also getting stuck all the time and causing problems. It's crash money. I almost thought that wasn't possible, the way you're failing so much. Double standard, probably not the word you're thinking of, but continue. Conceptual. Funny. Yeah, but I have a morbid sense of humor. Yeah, you know what? Hold it right there. We need to come up with a statement. A final statement to imply the end of the video early, just in case something happens later on, because I don't care, that's the last part. If something happens, we need to be able to say, here's a good end, let's end it early. Yeah, let's end it right at this boss rush. No, okay. We need to come up with a phrase though. A witty statement. That's all, folks, and then Megaman gets sucked into the black hole. What I hate is that I'm reminded of that science book I had in prep school, where it's teaching you about space, and there's a page that was teaching you about black holes, and it's basically some Alice in Wonderland, but she gets sucked into a black hole. That's so stupid. Now that I say it. And she just gets sucked to the black hole, she's getting stretched out, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. And I was terrified of black holes for like 2 months. Like, she's just getting spaghettied by a black hole. Alice in Wonderland. Very wholesome Alice, just getting ripped apart by a black hole. And I was in my school, not even school, it was a casual play science book. Thanks. Thank you, science. No, it wasn't a movie. Oh yeah, Alice in Wonderland was a book, wasn't it? Okay. Oh yeah, you're using the special things because you already beat them with the lemons already. So now you can use the rest of the fruits.
We have the little point of issues that I just couldn't stand anymore, and so I got rid of them. But I think that when I had to do the second playthrough of this castle, because yes, I did the second playthrough, I had to. I think I just got rid of that footage entirely, maybe. Maybe I kept something in? But this is all just looking like way too good.
Regular playthrough.
Yeah, this is just looking like it's way too good. Of course, this is actually me still struggling with the Wii, but I'm doing it like a champion. So you do not want to see how badly the first part went. It's really just it goes from hilarious to sad, very quickly.
So basically, this playthrough.
Yes, this playthrough. That means
We shouldn't be ragging on this playthrough so much though, because you know people are watching.
Yeah,
so
and people
this playthrough is fantastic.
And you know what those people aren't doing? Editing these things constantly.
Yeah, or recording it 10 times. You know what? You should be. No, that doesn't work. I was going to say you viewers should be giving us views, but you are giving us views. That doesn't work.
Oh man.
We should be watching your videos. No, that doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I kind of sensed that you had no idea where you were going with that. But what else is new?
I'm trying to reverse our situations.
How is it I'm almost dead to Tornado Man again? Like, I guess that's a problem with getting a special weapon weakness. Like, you just become really reckless after a while.
This feels like the fastest boss rush. This feels like the fastest boss rush you've ever done.
I mean, at this point I was like extremely angry. So maybe just like my rage. You see that? I defeated him in less than 10 seconds, and I got the achievement for that. Like, my rage was just carrying over. Well, it's time for the Wily machine. And this one has a gimmick where it's invincible, but you have to knock the eggs that it shoots back at it until it explodes. Of course, there's the whole point of regulating where it bounces and trying to get it to hit the mouth, because that's its weakness. If it hits the toe when it explodes, it does no damage. Now, what I should have been doing, as I learned later, is that you can use the magma bazooka on this boss, and since it fires in threes, you can basically like have a big spread, so that it's almost guaranteed to knock it back.
Do you ever learn this?
Not in this playthrough, no.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, I have 3 lives left. Time to see how well I bounce on this.
That reminds me of a very good film called The 9 Lives.
You mean that one where Garfield tricks the god into giving him and Odie 9 more lives, and then it turns out the god knows that he's tricking him but does it anyways because God is a cat?
Yes, I mean no, that's not what I was
because
talking about. That was
I really do not know how to feel about that ending. And no, not because of any sort of religious thing. I just don't know how to feel about that.
I feel great, but I was talking about the movie where Kevin Spacey's a cat. And I realized you don't know anything about movies.
I don't.
So that means nothing to you. But you audience members out there, you know what I'm talking about.
You know,
you probably know enough to know that I'm being ironic when I said it's an excellent movie. But actually, it probably is really fun. I've only seen reviews of it.
You know what? You saying that makes me realize if we ever do, like make it big, like big enough that we ever have like a panel, you are going to be the worst co-host ever.
Yes. Then again, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to go to. You'll be like Johnny and go to panels a lot, and I'd be like Rayla to media and go to nothing.
Because you don't like doing anything with your life that requires effort. Instead of...
No, I like doing a lot of things. I don't like doing anything with my life that involves public.
Oh, that makes more sense, actually.
Yeah,
except that there's stuff to buy at those places.
I'll be on a video screen. I'll be on a video screen.
I mean, here's the thing. You could always just do the other point where you're just like in the audience secretly. But then you'd be leaving me alone, which is like even worse.
Oh wow, you're alone with all our happy fans in this hypothetical.
Yeah,
that sounds so.
Yeah,
terrible.
It is terrible because they'll watch me fail because I'm terrible at public speaking. Not to mention here's what what I can't handle. Like for example, when I was watching BSC's con, and then there were just like fans or people asking questions that they were like either went on way too long or had no idea that dude, you're supposed to stop, it's one question or whatever, and just like handling that just with nobody to like bounce off of. And of course pretending that something never happened is my specialty on certain things, but still, that's just, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, but if I'm there actually conversing, I'll be flat and dead, and I don't want to say uninterested, maybe uninterested. So who knows? They'd ask me about some video game. They'd say, "What's your favorite thing about X?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
it's like, which Megaman playthrough was your favorite?" I don't really remember the Megaman playthroughs, honestly.
No, I'd probably say Megaman and base. Well, would I say that? No, I'd say Megaman 8, of course. No, I'd say Megaman 9.
Okay. But there's also...
It's the most memorable. Do you stay with your low health?
I think the thing is, this is my last life, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to use my E tanks until I get a feel for how these bosses work, and I'm on my last life.
Is this his last phase?
Well, this is the second phase, and after this comes the Wily Capsule phase. So,
where he's fighting as Wily's castle, the entire castle becomes a robot, right?
You
following me?
Yeah, I am following you, but just like probably off a cliff.
He tries to fight the castle, and Megaman realizes he's not powerful enough.
So he initiates the double gear system.
Well, that's much better than what I was about to say.
I could almost guess.
Okay, guess what I was about to say then.
Okay. Wait, no, you wouldn't know anything about Rush. What am I saying? Because I thought you'd say something stupid about an existing concept without realizing, wait, you barely remember any of the concepts. Never mind.
I would say he goes through time and finds 3 other people at different points in his timeline, and they all come together to fight Dr. Wily.
So Rockmanic's over.
No, I was talking about the Dexter's Lab movie.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just making a joke about how rocket magnets over like that.
He'd bring the main character from Mega Man X. He'd bring the main character from Mega Man ZX. He'd bring the main character from Mega Man Star Force. And then all of them would come together with him and finally kill Dr. Wily. He's a human, and so he's able to kill Dr. Wily.
Speaking of death, I think I just...
Oh, really?
The thing is, I at this point, I could have... You just talked about time travel, and I just...
Because I was correct.
But
that's so crazy.
But yeah, the thing is that I was like, okay, I can do this. But I could have done it. The issue is I had one E-tank left, and I was going to pause the game to get to that E-tank. But I think the Wii didn't respond fast enough, and so I was just like, why is it pop? And then I died in that last second before I get to the E-tank. Oh, the rage that I must have felt. So I guess that was my first attempt? Because I knew...
And also, it means my plan is correct.
Well, no, because technically you're planning...
So you're now playing as Mega Man ZX. Who is Mega Man in Mega Man ZX?
In what way? What do you mean by that?
Is there a character called Mega Man?
Technically, yes, there is. It's a human that takes on the moniker of Mega Man.
Who said a human can kill Dr. Wily and change his future completely? He's no longer born.
Wow, look at this much better spread that I have on this second run.
Also, so the series are Mega Man, Mega Man X, Mega Man Z,
Mega Man
Battle Network.
Mega Man 0 comes before ZX.
Okay, so 0, ZX, Battle Network, Star Force, Legends. Am I forgetting anything?
No.
Okay then. And these are all in...
Well,
no, I'm assuming
Battle Network and
are their own
Battle Network
timeline.
and Star Force are their own timeline. Well, no, Star Force is the same timeline as Battle Network, I mean. And they're in their own timeline.
I figured. So there's two... Well, is Legends in the same timeline as Mega Man?
Yeah, Legends is in the main timeline. It's just way after.
So there's two main timelines.
Yes.
Okay then. I just wanted to remember that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something profound. Don't know where I got that idea from.
No, I like timeline stuff. I'm a Legend of Zelda fan. And I used to be a fan of the Pokemon timeline until it became...
Let's not talk about that for the 1000th time, please.
Do we talk about the Pokemon timeline that much?
More like you...
No,
I mean more like you mentioned how much you hate the Pokemon timeline way more than you think.
A lot more than I think, because I think I probably talked about it like once or twice.
Oh, not once or twice?
On video?
I'm almost... If anything, then if I'm wrong, then I'm only wrong because you've said it only twice already on video and everywhere else, just like in normal life. But you have said it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, but the whole Let's Go thing is relatively new. Because that's trashed it even more. Did I ever say that once your timeline introduces time travel and dimension hopping, it's completely run out of ideas?
Yes, you've said that. And I don't agree. Only, like, I understand, but I don't agree, really. It's like, I just know that people do it terribly. And more often than not, they're going to do it terribly. But, of course, I don't agree on the principle because I know
I'm going to say there's exceptions to the rule.
I think there are enough exceptions to say that I don't agree.
If your timeline... When I'm saying your timeline introduces, I'm talking about late here. So if there's a television series and time travel comes in season 2 or so, then like sure, But if you're doing a television series and time travel becomes the 6th or 7th arc, like 4 or 5 seasons in a show that lasts 6 seasons, then it's like
I think unless
it seems
it's
like you want to extend the story.
Unless
here.
it's one of
You want
those
to artificially extend
Well,
it.
it's basic time travel in that case is usually just like alternate universe light. And the thing is that I think that all dimension hopping can work at any point. It's just that it gets more egregious the farther along you get, unless it's a very special point. But yeah, now Dr. Wily, please
I don't even want to
forgive
look at
me.
this. I don't even want to hear you.
I already said it.
This is so.
But watch this, I love this. It's like Megaman is like so done because he's like, Wily, I prepared a PowerPoint presentation. Here's when you did this to me in Megaman 1.
Oh my gosh. If only this would have been much more effective if the text wasn't incredibly slow.
And it continues and he just has this presentation ready. It's great. Not to mention the fact that they actually include Mega Man and Bass in this. It's weird because that actually did stop me for a while. Not only that, but I think they actually have something where they show the powers. The powers that are supposed to defeat Wily in those cases. So that's actually very creative or very profound. Something I don't really know. The point is, it's really, really cool.
Let's see what nonsense this is now.
But of course, Wily doesn't learn from this, because at this point he should actually just really be ashamed of himself. But I think his sense of shame was destroyed a long time ago.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Dr. Light's in the next room, but apparently he's come down with a flu. And for some reason they think that this is some plot hole because they assume that it's still the Robo, and so I'm like, no, he's like, thematically it's the same. Where he's like, oh, sickness? I don't even know. Is sickness considered a theme? It's weird. But yeah, Proto Man is just like, look, man, it's so not Dr. Light. You're doing so well. Do not screw this up, okay? Do not screw this up. And Mega's like, I think I'm gonna screw this up. Because he doesn't, of course he can't just like shoot to check.
Mega Man's a complete moron.
But just like, let Proto Man go up there and show with his shield that this is the wrong one.
Exactly, thank you.
And look at that. Turns out it was the wrong one. Like, wow. This is like the most pathetic version of it. I mean, other than Mega Man Force? Mega Man Force, he couldn't have feasibly saw that coming. But otherwise, it's just so stupid. They really couldn't think of anything else other than, hey, this is obviously a trap. Yeah, but I mean, it couldn't be a trap. And I'm just gonna go check that now.
I'm fully placing the blame on Proto Man here. Because he could have just stopped Dr. Wily. But he decided to leave to prove a point. That's something I'd do. And I'm a terrible influence. So yeah.
Why did Proto Man leave? He could have just like waited. There was no reason for him to leave. He was there this entire time. Like, why would that even need to... Whatever, man. I don't even have the energy to criticize this playthrough anymore. Because you do something for so long, you're just going to lose the will to do it. I'd have to say that this has been the most stressful playthrough we have ever done. And sure, Mario Galaxy had a lot of issues, but that was only specifically because there were so many parts that I had to edit. And then the earlier Mega Man parts also had issues, but that's because we just started. But this problem after problem, and audio issues, and then video issues, and corrupted files, and having to re-render stuff, and it's... I don't even know how to describe it. This is a dumpster fire. A dumpster fire of a playthrough. Okay, I think I'm going a bit too far on this one, actually. Well, it makes me feel like it's a dumpster fire. I still think our commentary is fine. Our commentary is not the issue. It's life. Life is the issue here. Life is the one who decided to screw us over in our times of need. Not to mention, there's also the fact that for people who are probably savvy to what we do whenever we have little issues, you must have probably realized by now that you have not heard Smirgel's voice in a long, long time. Yep, you can already guess that he has an audio issue. And it's like one of those things where I'm not even mad anymore. It's just cold indifference to a situation. Because I know I'm not going to do a retake of this. There is no way we're doing a retake of this. I almost want to wash my hands of this. I mean, I'm right beside a sink. I could just do that right now. And not to mention the fact that, was it part 4? Where part 4 is like 75% silence because it was so irreconcilable and we did it over so many times that there's just nothing else I could do. Well, other than, doing it over again. But when you literally get just like sick of seeing footage, it's like absolutely, it's hatred of seeing footage, then you know something's wrong. I have no idea how N-Tom of Hellfire Cons used to keep up his old regimen of doing retakes for everything. For every sort of... Wait a minute, I thought Wily wasn't seen afterwards, so why is Countryman chasing him? Whatever. But he used to apparently just do retakes for everything, every little thing. And if the part wasn't flowing that well, like reasonable but still not that well, just halfway into it, he'd be like, nope, we're doing it over. I really, on one point I admire the dedication, but there is no way I'm seeing myself do that with such fervency. And there's no way that you're going to come with me on that little retake adventure for any sort of issues. We gotta take what we could get at certain points because we don't have the best of equipment. But, we gotta make do.